What's going on, YouTube? So if you drive down any neighborhood street, you're bound to find a compact SUV in pretty much every driveway. They sell in droves, and the go-to option is almost always the Toyota RAV4, selling about 500,000 units many years. However, Hyundai has been offering a compelling alternative for years with its entry, the Tucson. It just had its best sales year ever last year, and Hyundai is hoping to keep that momentum with a big refresh this year, adding even more features and technology. So as the King RAV4 has aged, is it time to buy the underdog Tucson instead? That's what we're about to find out. First off, let's discuss the pricing for these two popular crossovers. Starting with the Tucson, we have the loaded trim, the Limited. It comes in a touch over $42,000 for 2025 after destination. Moving to the RAV4, the trim that aligns with the Tucson on pricing is the XSE with all the extra goodies. This sporty yet high-end trim rings in for a total price of $42,720 after destination. By the way, if you want to get the best price from local dealerships and access to invoice pricing info for these two models or any vehicle, we have a tool on our website to do just that. It's great for shopping, so be sure to check the link in the description for more info. If you're new to our comparisons, we do them in an objective way. We have done our best to weigh the points awarded throughout in major and minor categories. And towards the end, we will go over an important thing that we have added to our comparisons: reliability and resale value information. But let's go ahead and get started. Beginning with the exteriors, these two have certainly gone different routes. The RAV4 has always had a mini 4Runner look to it, and here on the XSE, its grille is finished in a premium gloss black color. Meanwhile, the Tucson has quite the radical design for the segment, and for 2025, it's been more squared off for a tougher look. Flanking their grilles, we have premium LED lighting on both. They have projector LED low and high beams, LED turn signals, and neither of them have fog lamps. Continuing to the sides, the models are about 2 inches apart in overall length, and the Tucson has tons of angles in the sheet metal. As a reminder, we don't score the models based on personal design preference. However, we will award the score to the Toyota for making the option of a two-tone roof available for those who want it. For wheels, you'll find large contrast 19-inch alloys on the Tucson, and the Toyota maxes out at 18 inches for this trim. Moving out back, they have very similar features. Both have partially LED taillights. The RAV4 has exposed exhaust outlets, and the Hyundai tows about 13% more weight as a maximum. As far as the mirrors are concerned, they both have BSM, heating, and LED turn signals. And speaking of blind spot monitoring, family SUVs need to be safe, and one of the really nice things about these two is that all 4 of your major active safety features are included as standard equipment. They also have highway assist features, and in the case of the Hyundai, you have a smart park system that can pull the vehicle into and out of parking spots unmanned. As far as the warranties are concerned, the Hyundai has the advantage in all respects. It has the longer basic and powertrain warranties, and it also gives you an additional year of complimentary maintenance. But it's the Tucson's interior that sees the biggest upgrade this year, so let's see if it changes the game. But first,
if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
So approaching both SUVs, they have smart entry systems and their brands' respective key fobs. Remote start is built into the Hyundai's key fob free forever, while Toyota's remote services have a trial period before a subscription is required. But after opening the doors, you'll see these two haven't just focused on functionality, but also luxury and tech. Before we get into those individual features, let's start with the seats. While they are both 8-way power with lumbar support, the RAV4 is finished in a faux leather compared to a real leather in the Tucson. They also are both heated, but only the Tucson has seat ventilation, since that's not offered on this trim of the RAV4. Now once inside the cabins, let's check out the major point category of material quality. The Tucson has always had one of the best cabins in the segment, and it continues to be made of premium materials like leatherette, soft touch plastic, and piano black trim. The RAV4 also has a lot of soft materials all around the cabin, but it doesn't feel quite as solid or plush as the Hyundai, so we'll give it a half-point advantage. After startup, you'll see big screens that act as gauge clusters on both. They measure in at 12.3 inches and have impressive graphics. Just be aware that only the Hyundai has a blind spot camera monitoring system. Building on that advantage, a new feature for the 2025 Tucson is the addition of a premium head-up display in the windshield. That's something that's not offered on the RAV4. Moving back, they both have heated leather-wrapped steering wheels and even rain-sensing wipers as equipped. You may also notice that the Hyundai has a fingerprint reader, which can sync driver profiles and allow the vehicle to start securely with a digital key system. Now it's time to evaluate another major interior section: storage. Hyundai revised this area for the refresh because it's so important to many buyers. They both have huge consoles, wireless phone charging pads, and a passenger storage shelf. However, it's only the Tucson that leaves a huge open area for fitting large items like a handbag. That means it will take the storage point. The reason the Hyundai is able to give you more storage space is because it's using an electronic shifter. Toyota keeps a traditional setup, and when in reverse, you'll find a 360-degree camera system on both models. Next, we have the climate controls. For the easiest adjustment, Hyundai went back to physical knobs for temperature, just like the RAV4. And they have dual-zone automatic setups. They both also have physical volume knobs to control their audio systems. The Toyota includes an 11-speaker JBL setup, and the Hyundai an 8-speaker Bose system. Both systems are bass heavy, and would give the slight advantage to the Toyota with its extra 3 speakers. People want a high level of technology in cars nowadays, so let's move to the key element of the displays. As far as sizing, Tucson has a new 12.3-inch setup, versus a 10.5-inch one in the RAV4. That's about a 15% advantage. And software-wise, both have highly desirable features like wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, as well as built-in navigation. As we wrap up the front of the cabins, both have auto-dimming mirrors with HomeLink remotes, and Toyota has the additional rear camera functionality when you flip the switch. Up top, they have large panoramic moonroofs that open and have sunshades. People of all walks of life buy compact crossovers, but they are extremely common for families with kids, so let's dive into the important back seats. Both are going to have impressive amounts of space. The Tucson actually comes in about 9% larger in legroom, and both are nearly identical for headroom. Now that that's out of the way, they also have quite a few features. Both give USB ports and rear vents, but only the Tucson has heated back seats. That is available on the RAV4, but it'll cost you closer to about $44,000 with the limited trim. Now let's see how much stuff you can bring along with you for the journey. Both have power tailgates with hands-free ability, and once they open up, you'll find nearly identical numbers behind the second row. If you expand it out to their maximums, the Tucson takes the lead by about 8%, with an impressive 74.5 cubic feet. For other features, the RAV4 includes a spare tire, while the hybrid Tucson does not. And speaking of hybrid, let's take these two family options out on the road to see who does it best. These two have been battling it out for superiority, and when it comes to what's under the hoods, they are quite similar. Several of the RAV4's trims, including this XSE, are hybrid exclusive. In this case, it's Toyota's 4th gen hybrid system, combining a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine and electric motors for a total system power of 219 horsepower. In the case of the Tucson Limited, you can get a regular gas setup or opt for this hybrid powertrain. It makes a little more power than the Toyota at 231 horsepower this year, but overall acceleration feels about the same in both. Alright, so there we go. Off to the races with the RAV4 Hybrid. Now, like we mentioned at the spec dump, actually the RAV4 Hybrid is more powerful than the traditional gas powertrain option. And in addition to just being more powerful, which this has 219 horsepower to remind you, it does also have that low-end electric torque. So when you get off the line, it has that nice sensation of acceleration. Alright, so that was taking it up to 60 miles per hour. What we're driving right now is the hybrid model, and even though it is a carryover powertrain, for the most part there is a small tweak. We have a little bit of a more powerful electric motor on board, which is actually the same as what you get in the larger Santa Fe hybrid, and that's going to give it an additional 5 horsepower, bringing our total up to 231 horsepower from a 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with your electric componentry. When it comes to transmissions, these two take completely different approaches. The Toyota uses an eCVT, while the Tucson goes for a more traditional 6-speed automatic. People may prefer the more traditional automatic experience, but it's not a huge difference to most buyers, so we won't award points. Both also have all-wheel drive as standard on the hybrid models. And power is going to be routed through an eCVT. Now, you might have noticed as I accelerated hard there, one of the other unique things about Hyundai's hybrid system, and that's the fact that it actually has a traditional transmission. Most of the rivals are going to be using a continuously variable transmission, but Hyundai opts to use a conventional 6-speed automatic. Now, in terms of this, obviously, if you're the type of person that prefers that more traditional experience, less drone and things like that, you are going to really like this 6-speed automatic. Besides transmissions, you're probably wondering how quiet the cabins are when cruising. Well, that's why here at Car Confections, we take a sound level reading of every vehicle we test on the channel. I do want to point out that the Tucson's reading was taken in California on a press drive, so it is unofficial until we get it back home to Kentucky to test on our local roads. But even with the rougher roads, the Tucson did test a little over a decibel quieter, so that's something to keep in mind as a reference point.
We have settled in at 56.7 decibels.
All right. We dropped to 55.4 decibels in this Tucson hybrid.
Now let's talk about an important part for any family SUV, the ride quality. In this area, both impress, although the RAV4 feels a bit more comfortable due to the smaller wheels as equipped.
Alrighty, and now we've finally turned on our designated highway stretch, and this is where I really want to spend a little bit of time talking about how good this RAV4 rides. Now, over the last 7 days, we have driven this vehicle quite a lot. You know, I had a wedding to go to, so I drove it about 2 hours away and then road tripped back, so we've been in this vehicle for many hours at this point this week, and I have to say I'm very, very impressed with the ride quality.
And we're on a pretty bumpy road, as you can probably tell. But this is a good time to go ahead and talk about ride quality, because this is really putting it to the test. So, in this class, obviously comfort is pretty much king. And even here on our limited trim level of the Tucson with the largest wheel option, Ride quality remains very comfortable. Hyundai's done a great job of tuning this, just like most of the rivals, to really favor that comfortable overall experience. Lastly, if fuel economy is front of mind for you, then the RAV4 will make more sense. This hybrid system delivers phenomenal MPGs of 40 combined, while the hybrid Tucson actually gets worse fuel economy this year at 35 miles per gallon combined. That's about a 13% advantage in favor of the Toyota. In our reviews and comparisons, we are also adding in reliability and resale information to give you a better picture of the overall value beyond just the original MSRP. Beginning with reliability, we developed the Combined Reliability Index, which takes into account several studies from trustworthy sources and combines them in a way that gives you a more holistic picture. Here, the advantage continues for Toyota. Toyota ranks as the #1 brand for reliability, 16 slots above the industry average, awarding it plus 1.6 points. Meanwhile, Hyundai is slightly below average for reliability, 3 slots to be exact. That takes away 0.3 points. We also put Mason's economics degree to work to develop a detailed predicted resale value tool. After 5 years and 60,000 miles, Toyota has the second highest predicted resale value of 64.5%, and Hyundai is a lot closer to the overall industry average at 55.3%. This gives the Toyota plus 0.9 points according to our scale. I want to emphasize that if money, reliability, or resale value matter less to you personally, feel free to disregard these points. And if you'd like to check out all our data about reliability and resale values, as well as learn about our methodology, make sure to head over to carconfections.com/resale and /reliability. Buying a car is a big decision, and this is a great place to compare all the vehicle makes that you might be cross-shopping. So there you have it, another hot compact crossover comparison is in the books. But let's recap a little with who should be your personal winner based on your priorities. So the Tucson should probably be your winner if your priorities involve around having more features for the money. You do get those ventilated seats, head-up display, heated back seats for that good price. Also, you have more advanced technology, including the 12.3-inch display as standard equipment. You have digital key, fingerprint reader, things like that. And you also have more storage with larger front storage capacity and a larger maximum cargo capacity.
Now, on the flip side, the tried and true RAV4 should be your choice if you want the best fuel economy. Yes, the Tucson does have a hybrid, but the RAV4 hybrid still gets better fuel economy. It also has the best resale and reliability information with it, and it has a more customizable exterior design. You can get a two-tone roof. There's a lot of different trim levels for you to select, whereas the Tucson is a little bit more normal looking on the outside. But which of these two compact SUVs would you take? We want to know your thoughts down below. And if you're looking to buy either one of these, we'd encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, the reason you do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description, and we also have a pinned comment at the top of this video. And that's going to be it for this comparison. If you enjoyed, we'd appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. You're going to get the latest car reviews as well as comparisons by subscribing, and you're also going to join in on this Car Confections family. If you're already part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.